invite for his opening remarks the 22nd Indigenous Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adeolu Egbetogun, PhD, holder of the Nigeria Police Medal. A round of applause for the IGP, please.
The following announcements, However, following this announcement, a total of 11,566 personnel have been recalled and will be deployed to active policing duties immediately. Let me assure you, senior officers, that this is not a retreat from responsibility, but a reclamation of it. It's a testament of who we are, what Nigeria requires of us, and the urgency of our mandate at this time. It's a call to reinforce policing where it truly matters, and to demonstrate clearly, confidently, and publicly that the Nigerian police force is not only active in response to threats, but intentional in restructuring for victory against them. Since our last meeting, officers across our state commands and specialized units have upheld the finest traditions of service, exhibiting bravery, professionalism, and steadfast commitment, even in the most challenging operational environments. Within this period, the Nigerian Police Force has achieved notable operational outcomes across strategic formations and tactical response structures, including a total of 8,202 suspects were arrested for various offenses. Out of these are 451 armed robbery suspects, 356 kidnapping suspects, 534 murders through culpable homicide suspects, 173 persons for unlawful possession of firearms, 312 suspected rapists, 282 suspected cultists were also arrested, while 6,095 suspected persons were arrested for other serious offenses. 249 assorted firearms and 20,989 different calibers of ammunition were recovered. 238 different models of vehicles were also recovered. 232 victims of kidnapping were rescued during this period. Furthermore, as we approach the festive season, the nation will witness its highest annual travel cycle, citizens returning home to celebrate with family and communities. Criminals may seek to exploit the road. Therefore, the roads must be decisively dominated by feasibility policing and preparedness. I hereby charge each state command to activate festive deployment and feasibility plans. This will include expanded highway patrol teams, reinforced foot patrol units at motor parks, anti-robbery dragnet patrols on high-traffic roads, intelligence-backed vehicular patrol fleets for rural corridors, and inter-service collaboration patrols to guarantee route safety across all national highways, border access roads, township entry-exit routes, market transit belts, and community travel corridors. Employ the use of artificial intelligence in your policing strategies, including the use of drones and other technical assets. Every command must log feasibility hours and ground presence stretches as performance metrics for December deployment returns. Let me, at this juncture, thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his consistent leadership, strategic guidance, and unwavering support to the Nigerian police force. His recent pledge of renewed federal backing, especially towards strengthening our operational logistics, including recruitment, mobility capacity, equipment, revamping our training institutions, and welfare frameworks, signals the confidence the government continues to place in our institution. On behalf of the entire Nigerian Police Force, we acknowledge His Excellency's partnership and assure Mr. President and the citizens that we will justify this trust through outcomes and not excuses. Senior officers, Nigeria cannot afford policing pauses, and we will not give it one. We are the lawful custodians of internal security, the protectors of communities, the responders to crises, and the institution citizens look to when fear rises. The country must continue to see us not as participants in the security struggle, but leaders in the security solution. At this time, the Nigerian Police Force must not be seen to be resting on its laurels. We are and must remain the most visible guidance of public safety, internal security, and constitutional order under the laws of the Federal Republic. In this moment, we reaffirm our readiness and our resolve to act. Nigeria depends on us, and we will not fail her. As I close this address, I urge you all to return to your respective commands with renewed urgency, clarity of strategy, courage of command, and determination of execution. I thank you. May God bless you all. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A nation's security is not measured by the absence of threats, but by the disciplined actions taken to prevent those threats, neutralize them, and taken after the threats strike. Senior officers, let this be our guiding charge as we convene here today. Let me first acknowledge the dedication, professionalism, and unwavering commitment of all strategic commanders across our state commands and specialized units who are here present today. The operational successes, crime prevention initiatives, intelligence-driven investigations, and stabilization efforts you have overseen are a testament to your leadership. Your tireless work in maintaining law and order, often under challenging and preserved. Please, I'll take that again. Your tireless work in maintaining law and order, often under challenging and high-risk conditions, has kept many communities safe and preserved the peace that Nigerians continue to rely upon. For this, I commend you and urge you to continue in this spirit of excellence. While our collective efforts to maintain law and order across the country remain highly commendable, we must acknowledge that recent events that have punctured the peace we have worked tirelessly to preserve. The ugly abduction of 38 worshippers in Christ Apostolic Church, Okeishegun, Eruku Community, Ekiti Local Government Area of Kwara State on 18th November 2025, the abduction of 25 school girls from Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School, Maga Town, in Kebbi State on 17th November 2025, and the brazen attack on St. Mary's Catholic School, Papiri Community, Agwara Local Government Area, Niger State, in the early hours of 21st November 2025, all stand as grim reminders that a single breach anywhere is a disruption of peace everywhere in Nigeria. These incidents, though swiftly and professionally responded to, have created a momentary impression in some quarters that we are not working. We may not be doing enough, but definitely it is not that we are not working. We are actually doing something. But as leaders, We must hold ourselves to a higher standard. We have no excuses. We will not relent until all our vulnerable communities are protected against the attacks of bandits. Peace maintained in one location and violated in another is not peace. In the immediate, we are neither going to sleep nor give ourselves accolades until every pupil abducted from St. Mary Catholic School in Niger State is rescued unhurt and united with their families. We have done it before, and we shall not retreat. In the Kwara and Kebbi incidents specifically, we immediately deployed adequate tactical assets and activated strong joint operations with sister security agencies, leading to the successful rescue of all victims unhurt. This coordinated outcome reflects what is possible when our systems work as they should. Yet, it also underscores how much more we must do to stay ahead of emerging threats. In the recent incidents recorded across Kebbi State and Kwara State, the Nigerian Police Force demonstrated the strength of coordinated response, acting swiftly, professionally, and with tactical clarity. Through seamless collaboration with other security agencies, the state governments, and trusted community leadership structures, coordinated by the Office of the NSA, we were able to ensure the safe rescue of kidnapped victims and the successful reunion of those citizens with their families. These outcomes reaffirm an important principle of modern policing and internal security management. Crime is defeated fastest when response is unified, intelligence-driven, and operationally coordinated. This template of action must now be institutionalized as our standard. We have seen, more than ever before, that security agencies are aligning strategy, sharing intelligence, and synchronizing operations at unprecedented levels, and Nigerians are increasingly witnessing the results of this cooperation in real time. Therefore, I state firmly, there is no viable alternative to collaboration. Fragmented response creates opportunity for criminals, but unified response removes it. In this regard, the force will continue to sustain intelligence-backed interagency operations to contain and dismantle the activities of armed bandits, terrorists, kidnappers, and all violent threat actors operating across our internal security theaters. We will intensify shared intelligence channels, strengthen joint tactical deployments, and maintain lawful coordinated pressure until crime and criminal intents are driven down to the lowest possible level across the country. However, recent developments also made one thing clear, that citizens expect more, and rightly so. Public confidence remains rooted in policing impact, not policing intention. To honor this mandate and stay ahead of criminal strategy, we must constantly reevaluate, adapt, and innovate. It is now time to further reposition our operational approach, expand our intelligence reach, increase visibility, fortify soft targets, and strategize proactively. These attacks are unacceptable, and our collective approach must shift firmly from reactive to proactive policing. Criminal elements must not only be intercepted, they must be outmaneuvered, dismantled, and decisively subdued through intelligence-led operations and sustained policing pressure. The Nigerian Police Force is prepared. We are not retreating from this fight. We are advancing into it. And to win, we must implement stronger policing frameworks rooted in core fundamentals of modern law enforcement. Consequently, we shall emplace the following enhanced policing strategies to deepen territorial security dominance, protect vulnerable populations, strengthen criminal disruption circles, and reinforce national safety during this critical season. The fight against violent crime is won first in the field of intelligence. We must build systems that see crime before it erupts. I hereby direct all commands, commissioners of police, to deepen your intelligence frameworks beyond conventional reporting lines. A dependable native intelligence network is not built only on desk officers. It is built inside markets, transport unions, student leadership circles, farming clusters, healthcare intelligence touchpoints, religious institutions, and trusted community observers who can lawfully relay behavioral shifts, unfamiliar movements, and threat signals. Local intelligence networks thrive when communities trust the police. Therefore, their cultivation must be lawful, ethical, professional, and protected. Intelligence assets must be trained on confidentiality obligations and handled without exposure to political or social manipulation. As senior commanders, you must deploy intelligence response cells that analyze local patterns, interpret pre-attack indicators, map crime migration corridors, and push intelligence to tactical patrol teams in actionable formats. Information without action is not intelligence. Actionable information deployed ahead of crime is intelligence. This network must also integrate open source intelligence awareness, forensic-enabled investigative tracking, rural informant engagement, cyber intelligence monitoring of criminal brag trails, and tactical intelligence retrieval after every attack. Each major incident should generate an intelligence packet that predicts not just who attacked, but who may be next, where they may move, and how they may strike again. We must police forward and not backward. Community policing is not ancillary to national security. It is foundational to it, especially at this time where communities are no longer just witnesses to crime, but victims of coordinated assault. Commissioners of police must lead policing frameworks that structurally bind the police to grassroots influence networks, traditional rulers, town unions, local hunters, civil defense outfits, vigil groups, and youth organizations. Engaging community policing means building local shared ownership of security, not delegating authority to non-police outfits. You must establish joint community safety forums, conduct community threat profiling, institutionalize local crime watch desks, and build village-level rapid information channels that signal the police before criminals fortify positions. This is how threats are squeezed, not by occupying only highways, but by occupying the confidence, cooperation, and communication channels inside the people's spaces. When this system works, communities recover first from fear, then from crime. They feed information freely, respond to police direction willingly, grant operational legitimacy faster, and discourage criminals socially as much as they are discouraged tactically. Terror cannot permanently live among a people who are united with the law enforcement system, sworn to protect them. This is the psychology you must nurture in each state command. Criminals succeed most in environments where policing is sparse, irregular, or predictable. We must therefore flood the public space with lawful deterrence, not symbolic visibility, but structured dominance of policing presence through layered foot patrols, highway confidence patrol convoys, community perimeter surveillance, and vehicular rapid response dragnets. Foot patrols should not be casual walks. They must be sector mapped, timed, logged, and intelligence guided. Commissioners of police must divide each command into micro-policing sectors with assigned patrol commanders, deploy night confidence patrol teams into unprotected settlements, optimize patrol routes using heat zone movement analytics, and log patrol visibility hours as a key performance metric. Citizens must see us more often than they currently see criminals. Vehicular patrols must employ modern policing posture. Vehicle surveillance teams, convoy-style rural confidence patrol squads, mobile checkpoints built on lawful search protocols, rapid pursuit units, and targeted patrols that disrupt criminal transit, supply chains, and escape routes. Feasibility denies criminals time, confidence, and consolidation. That is why it must be relentless. Security rivalry helps crime, but security synergy breaks it. Commissioners of police must therefore operationalize real partnerships, not ceremonial alliances. Joint tactical patrols, shared intelligence briefings, operations backed by military cover when required, interagency radios in high-threat states, joint map-based operational planning, and unified response architectures that deny criminals inter-service loopholes. You must lead monthly intelligence roundtables between state security authorities. Establish joint tactical operations plans after every major attack. Deploy joint route domination patrols with the Nigerian Armed Forces. Integrate strategic information exchange with other security agencies. And expand lawful border crime tracking strategies, especially in frontier states like Kebbi, Niger, Sokoto, and neighboring security theaters. These partnerships do more than increase manpower. They increase authority of response. These partnerships do more than increase manpower. They increase authority of response, operational cover, cross-verification of intelligence, weather surveillance capture, and logistical burden sharing. Criminals cannot overrun a system that closes ranks against them. These methods are not mere protocols. They are proven policing fundamentals. When properly deployed, they bolster deterrence, improve response times, provide communities psychological relief, disrupt criminal planning cycles, and lead to higher operational success rates. Nigeria wins when the police works ahead of crime rather than behind it. Our strategic success also lies in unity of action. We must sustain the ongoing partnerships. These audits should not be academic exercises. They must translate into deployment outcomes. Strengthen perimeters, increase policing presence. Deploy anti-attack intelligence channels. Assign intelligence officers for early warning detection. Re-engineer local safety partnership frameworks with school principals, proprietors, religious leaders, faith institutions, youth watchdog councils, and township defense committees to ensure free flow of threat signals directly into tactical police cells. The recent presidential directive on the withdrawal of police personnel deployed for VIP protection is a strategic and deliberate realignment of our national policing priorities. This policy decision is rooted not in sentiment, but in necessity, reflecting the current security demands of our nation and reinforcing the fundamental purpose for which the police force exists. The protection of our people, the defense of our communities, and the safeguarding of public order. It's important to emphasize that this action is a patriotic, forward-looking, and operationally prudent measure designed to strengthen our manpower capacity for critical frontline policing functions. With the security environment placing increasing pressure on unprotected populations and vulnerable communities, and in this regard, we wish to assure members of the public that this withdrawal will enable the force to expand deployment into areas where policing input has the most meaningful public safety outcomes. These include, but are not limited to, large-scale population protection operations, rural and township security fortification, intensified police feasibility and patrol spread, investigative response expansion, and tactical containment of emerging violent threats. Simply put, this policy ensures that more officers are repositioned from personalized security duties to collective public protection responsibilities, where their presence and operational impact are most urgently required. However, while we move decisively to implement this directive, we must also act responsibly to manage its execution. We are mindful of the risk of misinterpretation, misinformation, and exploitation by undesirable elements who may seek to capitalize on the situation for personal or political advantage, or attempt to create narratives that undermine public confidence. To guard against this, the force will release detailed implementation modalities in due course, outlining clear processes, timelines, safeguards, and accountability measures. These modalities will be communicated internally first and subsequently to the public through the appropriate professional channels in a structured and controlled manner. This phased approach is necessary to prevent opportunistic actors from weaponizing ambiguity, spreading disinformation, or impersonating authority in ways that could distort or compromise the intent of this initiative. We are committed to ensuring that this process strengthens policing, preserves institutional integrity, and eliminates any window for actors who operate outside legitimate security frameworks to mislead or cash in on the transition. You raised. First question was from the Sun newspaper. You want to know what has happened to policemen who had altercation with soldiers when the Minister of FCT visited a site within the FCT. I wasn't at the scene of that altercation, and I have directed that what happened there should be investigated. Whatever the outcome of the investigation, we will let you know. Then, Swift reporter, you wanted to know what is happening to our school protection squad. Yes, our school protection squad is very active. They've been doing a lot. Through the school protection squad, we have been able to prevent so many attacks on schools. We have been able to protect many of these schools. The fact that one incident happened, one or two incidents happened, does not mean that several incidents have not been prevented. Or it doesn't mean that we are not doing anything at all. There is a lot that we are doing. And what happened is unfortunate, and we don't have excuses for it. And if you listen to my speech, I made it clear that we are not going to relent until all our vulnerable communities are protected from the attack by criminal gangs in this country. I also made it clear that one attack on a vulnerable community is bad enough, and we are not going to tolerate it. And that peace maintained at one location but violated at another location is not peace. Therefore, we are not going to sleep, and we are not going to give ourselves accolades until all our communities in Nigeria are protected and no further attack on any vulnerable community in Nigeria. This is our commitment. We are committed to it. We will do everything within our resources. We will continue to improve on our strategies. We will continue to stay ahead of these criminal elements. But let it be known that the fact that there is a breach, we should not be condemned. People should not forget that every day police make arrests, we make recovery of weapons from these criminal gangs. We are doing our best, and we'll continue to do the best for this country. NTA, yes. Yes, we have already withdrawn 11,566 personnel. We have given directives for that. I have seen some things posted on the social media, misleading. People are quoting figures. Figures, I don't know where they got their figures, where they said that 120,000 policemen are attached to private individuals in Nigeria. These are lies. Not true. I don't know where they got their figure from. And that's the figure that's been brandished everywhere. That 120,000 policemen. How many are we in Nigerian police that would attach 120,000 to private individuals? The recent presidential directive that we should withdraw policemen from VIP protection made us to discover that 11,566 policemen are engaged in VIP protection as at today in Nigerian police force. Of course, this is not the first time we are implementing this type of directive. Recently, I gave instruction that policemen should be withdrawn from private individuals, and those private individuals desirous of police protection should reapply, because we saw the need to profile these individuals that are applying for police protection, and we carried out that exercise. During that time, a number of policemen were withdrawn, many of them not reassigned before this presidential order came. So it's something that we have been doing. But the recent presidential order will make the implementation more effective. Now that it is presidential order, there won't be pressure on the IG. In fact, the presidential order is a cover for us to implement this directive that we have been trying to implement all this while. So you can see that the implementation is going to be more effective this time around, because I know that nobody is going to call IG again that, please, these are my people. No governor is going to call me, no minister is going to call me. Friends, my family members will not put any pressure on me because they know it's presidential order. And I'm sure they are not going to put any pressure on any of my commissioners of police because they know that this is presidential order. So the implementation is going to be very effective this time around. And we are going to deploy these men to the areas where we need them. We are returning to our frontline policing function, especially at this critical time. Every time we are talking of manpower need, manpower shortage, and now that we have surplus of 11,566 that are coming, we are redeploying to core policing functions, is going to help us a lot. We will not neglect the welfare of these men. Mr. President, who gave this instruction, knows very well. He knows more than all of us. He knows very well that the welfare of these men is important, and anyone we are sending to the rural communities, to these remote communities, their welfare will be taken care of. That I can assure you. Then there is another one on recruitment and the concern raised on what we are doing to guide against recruiting saboteurs into the police, we have a standard protocol for our recruitment. And anyone that is coming into the police will go through a screening exercise. It's rigorous. And if a saboteur manages his way into the police, the system that is operating in the police presently will fish him out. And it will be difficult for us to identify such people and show them the way out. There is the other one on NYSC camp to be used to train police recruits. Yes, it's going to be the first time we are going to experiment that because of the emergency situation that we are in right now. Mr. President is very passionate about increasing the manpower, addressing the manpower shortage in the Nigerian police force. And he wants us to recruit as many as we can at this time. So if we will assess the NYSC training camps, those ones that are suitable for our training, we will accept them. It doesn't mean that every NYSC camp will be accepted for training. A team will go around and assess the facilities on ground. And if we need to improve the facilities, Mr. President is ready to support us to improve those facilities. He's also concerned about turning out quality policemen. It's not just to bring in policemen and train them. He also wants us to have quality people in the police, and we are committed to ensuring that. Then the question on the non-arrest of suspects during the recent rescue operation in Kwara. Okay, the two questions came together. Okay, let me address this first. When individuals are abducted and taken into captivity, our first concern is the rescue, safe return of those victims to their families. That's our first concern. We will work towards getting those victims released, rescued, then before we even think of any other thing. It's not the first time we will do it, we have been doing it. Every time we announce rescue of abducted victims, every time. It's not the Kwara incident is not the first. It's something we have been doing regularly. I don't want to say much about this, but if you must know that our first concern is the rescue of those victims from their captors. Once we get them rescued, then any other thing can follow. You remember the abduction of those 20 medical students earlier in the year. Of course, it was in the public space, so I can talk about that. We mounted so much pressure on this criminal gang, on the abductors. We deployed all our assets, critical assets. With so much pressure on them, they became afraid that at a time they have to abandon the mission, and they let the students go. After we picked the students, we rescued them, then we know what we did. So we won't say more than that. Yeah, that's it. Okay, then another person wants to know, there was a statement that has been going viral that the Inspector General of Police said we didn't arrest the bandits because they voluntarily release those victims. I expect that people should know that no IG will say such a statement, will make such a statement. No IG will make such a statement. That's why I didn't bother to respond to it. I'm talking about it now because somebody asked that question. How can an IG say that we didn't arrest them because they voluntarily released those people? That's a careless statement. I didn't say so. I didn't say so. And it's not the first time that they will publish so many things about the IG that the IG didn't know about. So it's not the first time. So you should get used to all this misinformation, all this nonsense going on. So if you really want to know, I didn't say anything like that. Okay? And I have explained that our primary concern was safe rescue of those abducted victims. And that was what we achieved. I won't say more than that. Okay, then someone wants to know whether our SPU will still be functional after the presidential directive. Just wait. I've told you that we have commenced the implementation of presidential directive. But the implementation, we are going to implement this directive in a structured way, in a way that will not expose anyone to danger, in a way that will protect our economy. We won't do it in a way that will create more problems than we are trying to solve.